Alright, I'm going to be taking this out next. 114 Fat Bob. Heard a lot about this one. Definitely will not be able to ride it like a proper test ride because it's an escorted ride, but it should be fun. Maybe I'll accidentally take a wrong turn and get lost from the group. Alright, so I am sitting on a 114 Fat Bob S. And this is definitely different from the kind of style bike I ride. So it's got these flatter handlebars, straighter handlebars. You can see it's got the little indicator here of degrees. It's kind of weird to just have that there, but it feels like a smaller bike, but my arms are really reaching for the foot pegs. Alright, looks like we're going to get underway here. A friend of mine who rode one of these says this is a bike you can get into trouble on. I'm not going to be getting into any trouble on this escorted ride, but hey, we'll see how it goes. So if you're not familiar with my channel, my name's Dave. I've been riding Harleys for a little over 3 years. Got about 30,000 miles riding, mostly on Sportsters and Dyna Lowrider. I've taken advantage of these test ride demo days a number of times. And so today it's September in 2018, and I'm looking forward to riding as many of these 2019 models as I can. Well, so far today I rode the Softail, Heritage Deluxe, no, not Heritage, Softail Deluxe, and just rode the Sport Glide. Now the stance, or rather the riding position here on this Fat Bob S is actually a little more comfortable for me than the Sport Glide. My feet are a little closer to me. I guess I'm not sure what they're calling these controls. They're calling them mids or mid forwards, but I usually ride with forward controls. But these feel pretty comfortable. I don't feel scratched up or anything. The handlebars are a little further out, as I mentioned, but I'm getting used to that pretty quick. I don't feel like I'm leaned forward as much as on the Sport Glide. I really wish I could give this 114 justice, but I'm just not going to get that opportunity on this escorted ride. But, you know, we'll see what we can do. Feels nice and solid. Get some water on the road here. You can definitely lean with this thing. Up here where I live in Northeast PA, there's lots of country roads with lots of twists and such. A bike like this would not have any problem here. Harley is obviously trying to appeal to different types of riders with their different bikes. If you want a really fast bike that's a Harley, this Fat Bob 114 is definitely going to be the one of the ones you're going to look at. Not a big bike, you know, doesn't feel like a big heavy bike by any means, but definitely solid enough. I mean, it doesn't feel like you're going to get blown around out here or anything. Got those wider tires. shifting, as just like the other Softails, you know, same transmission obviously. Nice and firm, you know, you got that bit of a clunk that Harleys have, but it's not as sloppy, as you say, as some of the older bikes. When you turn this throttle, this bike moves. You know, it really has power. I'm 6 feet tall, 195. I fit this bike really nicely. I think it would even fit someone a little taller than me. Presumably you might put forward controls on something like this. If needed. You know, my type of riding is commuting to work. It's an hour plus ride, about 50 miles. I have saddlebags just to put some of my stuff in for the day. I'm not sure I would be looking at a bike like this for that type of riding, but this is definitely something you could jump on and go out for a few hours and just really tear it up. I can definitely see why there's a lot of interest in this bike. It appeals to a lot of people. We'll get on the highway for a few minutes. It's been kind of hit and miss so far today, depending on traffic. So this has a tach that's analog, and then you have the miles per hour in digital. The seat feels comfortable. Maybe a slightly less padding than, for instance, on the Softail, but I can't feel myself bottoming out or anything. I don't know if you could spend all day in this thing. Probably not. Probably not designed for that. Without getting proverbial iron butt feeling, but oh my goodness, yeah, just touch this throttle. Oh, I would so love to just open it up here, guys, but that's just not going to happen. If you can take a ride on one of these without an escort, if your local dealer will let you just jump on one and go out for 20 minutes, oh, I think you'll really, you know, you'll feel it. You will feel it. I mean, I'm in 4th gear, we're doing 55 miles an hour. I got trucks passing me. The bike itself, man, it's got a very aggressive look to it. It's got those real wide forks, wider tires. You know, a lot of black on it. I'm more of a chrome guy, but definitely an aggressive looking bike. I believe these fuel tanks are in the upper 3s or low 4s in terms of fuel capacity. I prefer being as close to 5 as I can, but it seems like I'm filling up on every ride. So just something to think about. It's a nice, comfortable bike, but comfort isn't the primary reason you buy a Fat Bob 114. But I mean, it really does feel good. Right now the engine is in yawn mode. It's like, come on, man. I thought we were gonna ride. There you go. Let's follow him. I mean, really, we're practically a road hazard out here. I'll tell you what, this is my third Softail frame bike in a row, and wow, they did such a great job with these. These just feel so good. I've had my Dyna Lowrider for 5 months now. Definitely still on the honeymoon. I expect to have that bike for at least 4 years. At least. But when it's time for my next bike, I definitely have my sights set on one of these Softails. I just love these bikes. And you know what? I know there's been a lot of people on the forums and stuff complaining, you know, Harley lost her mind, they killed the Dyna, blah blah blah. You know what? I don't know what they're talking about. The Dyna's a nice bike. I mean, it's a nice bike, but geez, this is an improvement in so many ways. Just like that, we are back. Guys, you probably watched this video because you wanted to see somebody tearing it up on a 114, and I apologize that I didn't get to do that on this ride. So all I could give you was just my general overall feedback. If you're thinking about a bike like this, obviously you're going to test ride it yourself. But nothing jumps out at me as a negative. Let's put it that way. The riding position's good. It feels nice and planted and comfortable. It's a powerful bike. It feels like you can really get on it and you know, aggressively. And it's not going to let you down. You know, that's kind of my take on the limited time I spent on it here. Thanks for watching, guys.